I kind of begrudgingly respect just the dedication to not getting better at what you do for a living. Just coast through life.
It probably shouldn't even happen.
If you got it, you got to flaunt it, Acid.
You know what? I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to flaunt, so I just keep it to myself.
Jeremy is really big into the used mattresses. Excellent deal.
He has a used mattress store on the side. And we found out that Anthony's friends are all 13-year-old boys.
Whoever wins gets Acid's ball soap. Clay, how you doing?
Doing a little more poorly after that terrible introduction. I was just fine, to be honest with you.
Hello, Sci-Fi Gangsters. This is a show where we talk about science fiction, comic book, video games, but really, it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends, old and new. I'm Anthony Dennar, media scholar and person who will always bring up theory. No matter how many times Jeremy pushes back against it, I will bring it up because that's what I do, right? It's always great to bring up conversations that we had before the show began because the audience loves it, right? All right, good. So today's topic, we're talking about Universal Studios, right? We're doing a review show. Acid just got back from Universal Studios, and he said, look, I got to review this baby, right? He called Universal Studios his baby, and we're going to review that on today's show. I've been there once, all right? So I'm definitely qualified to talk about Universal Studios, but that is today's topic. You can always hit the time codes. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on YouTube. We're everywhere, right? So we're also on Apple, all that kind of stuff, right? You can listen to the show there. Well, let's go ahead and bring up our panel here. Our co-host, Acid, my favorite bus driver of all time and Twitch streamer. We have Jeremy, right? My co-host, my partner, right? My life partner. No, that's not true. But my good friend, Jeremy. And then, of course, we have a special guest here, Devyn. Devyn, now when I said, when Acid brought up the fact that we're gonna talk about Universal Studios, I was like, who better to talk about Universal Studios than someone who lives in Florida and visits Universal Studios? I'm assuming you also have a pass there, so a yearly pass, so you're definitely qualified to talk about Universal Studios. But Devyn, how you doing?
Great, thanks for having me. Very excited to talk about Universal Studios.
Excellent. Yeah, and of course we know each other because we both got our masters from Auburn. We knew each other when you were here at Auburn getting your masters. Now you're at Florida, University of Florida, finishing up your PhD. And well, it's great to have you on the show. All right, awesome. There you go. But first, what we do is we catch up before we get to the topic. That's the whole purpose of this show, right? That's the reason why I did this, right? When Jeremy came to me one day and he said, are we going to bring back the podcast? This never happened. When he came to me one day and he said, when are we going to bring back Sci-Fi Gangsters? I said, I'm only going to do it if it's going to be fun, if I get to catch up with my friends, and that's the goal of the show. All right. But first things first, we catch up. I'll go ahead and begin. Still watching Snowpiercer. So as we've talked about Snowpiercer a lot on this show because it takes me a really long time to finish series because I'm watching with my wife and we rarely have time together, but we've scheduled one night a week where we sit down and watch a show. So we watch one episode.
One show.
One episode once a week together, and that's why it's taken me forever to get through Snowpiercer. I love it. I love the series. I'm all in, right? I love all the actors. I love the series, but it definitely just taking me a long time because I have to wait until we can have a night together. So there you go. But I've been enjoying Snowpiercer. I've been playing a lot of Madden lately. I know you guys love it when we talk about Madden. I know you guys are all on board.
How's Tom Brady doing?
Here's the thing. I've been playing that mode. It's called the Yard, right? It's like a mini game mode. And I've been playing that so much. I've gotten pretty good. I've gotten so good that people are sending me hate messages on Xbox when I beat them. That's how often.
Finally ascended.
That's when I know I've made it. When people give me offensive, like it actually blocks it. It says this message is offensive.
Nice.
And like you have to like click on a thing for it to show up, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, this was offensive. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that. So excellent. And of course, me and Jeremy I love how I'm acting like me and him are just going together. Me and Jeremy are going to Orlando in August. We're going to Orlando in August. So we're doing this very, very smart thing. And that's to go to Orlando in August.
Yeah.
That of you.
So, of course, we have more people going with us, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We booked our room. Jeremy, he found a room that looked great, an Airbnb, and we booked our part. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the rest of the crew here, the rest of the guests. Asta, we'll go with you. What's new with you?
Not much. Since Universal, I've had the kids this week, so we have been trying to figure out what to do. That's very difficult when there's nothing to do. So we've gone for walks. We went to the preserve and hiked. We have gone grocery shopping, and then a whole lot of nothing. So I bought a bunch of games this week since this is Father's Day month. I am a father, and I got extra money to buy video games. So that is what I did. So I bought a few just little indie games and stuff that probably no one's ever heard of. But I've been having fun with those.
I will say that's...
Yeah, like Grifflands was something that just came out that looked really good, like a roguelike card game. So I figured I'd give it a shot.
All right, excellent. Getting some gifts for Father's Day. I will say that being a parent a lot of times is just trying to find things for your kids to do. Like it feels like work
difficult
in a lot of ways. Devyn, is it coming soon? Are we having kids on the way here?
We're definitely planning on it.
You definitely plan on having the conversation.
Yes. My husband just went, woo!
He's in the background. I'm glad to hear that he had that reaction.
Yes, yeah, it's positive. We're actually in here playing with his Legos right now. So,
what was he playing?
Legos.
Nice.
He's playing with some Legos.
Even better. He's getting a 1-up.
He collects Star Wars Legos, and he's building one of his spaceships right now. So,
does he have the Millennium Falcon? I want that one.
We have not gotten the Millennium Falcon. We have like a separate savings account for that one. Yeah. But yeah, this is his whole collection behind me.
All right, here we go. We're checking out the collection.
There it is.
He's got the little minis. That's what our account can afford.
There you go. It gets better. It's okay.
All right, that's one of the great things about being a parent. It does give you the excuse to play Legos, right? Yeah. I gotta play with the kids. They want to play Legos. All right, I gotta get down and build something. Okay. But yeah.
Apparently, my husband doesn't need an excuse. He just goes for it.
Yeah, my kids have all the Harry Potter Legos, so they have built everything that is in Harry Potter via Lego. It's great. Like their whole room is just lined with Harry Potter scenes and Legos.
That is so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to shame any adult for doing childish things, as you can see from my background. So there you go. All right, Aston. Well, okay, Jeremy, what's new with you?
So the big news that I was happy about this week was they set a release date for the Y the Last Man TV show. So it's a Brian Vaughan comic, and it's I forget how many years it ran. Probably 7 or 8 anyway. But the premise is the last man on Earth and kind of trying to figure out why and everything. Which should be pretty good, I hope.
All right, well, there you go. Jeremy's excited about the show coming out based on a comic. What was the name of the comic again?
Y the Last Man.
Y the Last Man. So many comics, obviously. And once again, I brought this up several times, but I'm teaching from comics to the screen next semester. So I'm always looking for new comics to talk about in my class, right? Making my students read
it's a good one. It's a really good one.
Yeah. I'm definitely so Snowpiercer's on the list. I mean, there's just so many comics, and the only thing is you're limited to, for this particular class, you're limited to what actual comics have been adapted to the screen. So you kind of have to go with that. But there you go. Excellent. All right, Devyn, it's what is new with you?
Really cool class to teach. Right now, I'm teaching mass communication law at the University of Florida, which is so exciting, as you can imagine. Also wrapping up my dissertation, which is great. Very ready to be done. But one of the best things about getting my PhD at the University of Florida is I'm only an hour and a half away from some really great theme parks. So that definitely is my outlet when I have a day to go down. I enjoy some escape time, either at Universal or Disney World. So very excited to talk about my outlets.
Excellent. Now, I hope this doesn't spoil it, but I have to ask, what is your favorite? Are you more of a Universal Studios or Disney World, or you just go Epcot, just get drunk at Epcot?
Yes. So I grew up a Disney girl. I had family who worked at Disney World as a security guard, and he got us in to Disney for free. So Disney is in my heart, and I love it. It's definitely more kid-oriented. I love Universal, that it's more teen and adult oriented. So it kind of depends on what mood I'm in, which one I want to go to.
Do you go to Epcot a lot?
Yeah, that's actually, if we go down for just an afternoon for like dinner, that's where we go.
All right, excellent. Yeah, we did the whole drinking around the world kind of a thing when we went down to Epcot, and just ate a lot of food, right? Just ate and ate and ate.
Yeah, every festival now that Epcot has, they have new food, and it's glorious. It's the best food from around the world.
All right, excellent. All right. So let's go ahead and get to our topic. Everyone's excited to get to the topic today, right? We're talking about Universal Studios, and once again, I've been there once. But at least I can talk about the very first time I've ever been to Universal or Disney World or any of the parks down in Orlando was a couple of years ago, right? That's the first time I ever went. So, we went to all of them, right? We went to Disney World, we went to Universal's, we went to Epcot, so we did the whole shebang. So the way we're going to do this review is we'll each bring up 3 things that either we like or we don't like about Universal, right? And we'll take turns. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And I'll go ahead and go with, I'm not sure which one I want to start with, but I think I want to start with this. The Fast and the Furious ride is the worst ride that I have ever been on any ride. We really need to bring up how bad this ride is, because, and here's how bad it is. We didn't wait. Jeremy, you were there. We didn't wait at all. There was no wait time. It was one of those days where it was like raining or something like that, or we had just gotten there or whatever. There was no wait, and it was still a bad experience. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's a combination of it's just the ride itself is nothing, or so it's just a straight shot and there's just a lot of stuff going on. And obviously they spent most of their budget on the actors, right? That just getting the likeness from the actors, or would they have to pay for that? Would you have to pay for that? The actors?
I'm sure they had to pay something because it's The Rock and Ludacris.
And it was Vin Diesel too, right?
I don't think Vin Diesel was in it.
I want to say he was.
I think his voice might have been.
Yeah.
I don't think he did a scene for it.
Well, they had the whole ride scene is a bunch of Fast and the Furious people.
Yeah.
But of course, Ludacris when in the waiting room, when you're in that waiting room, and the in-person actress is trying to interact with Ludacris, it's just horrible in every way. Devyn, what's your opinion on the Fast and the Furious ride?
Yeah, that was actually one of my things that I was going to talk about, is how terrible, terrible, terrible that ride is. I've only done it once and will never do it again. Also, did not wait at all. I thought the line was the best part. We had a really good actor who did a really good job interacting with Ludacris, and I laughed and I enjoyed it. Then you get on the ride, you hardly move at all, and it's just a screen moving past you. The acting is terrible. And it's just, it's the worst ride I've ever been on. And Chris and I, my husband and I, we went to Islands of Adventure, which the Fast and the Furious ride is at Universal Studios. There's 2 separate parks, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. We went to Islands of Adventure and we stood in the King Kong Skull Island line. We got up towards the front and we saw it was the exact same car as the Fast and Furious. And so we got out of the line and we were like, we're not riding this, because we figured it was the exact same concept, and we're like, we're not wasting our time.
It is actually a better ride though than Fast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember I never went on the Kong ride. Jeremy, did you go on it last time you went?
Yeah, I've been on it. And yeah, I have something to say about it in a minute. But
Oh, okay, excellent. You're gonna bring up. Acid, did you ever go on the Fast and Furious ride?
Well, since we had the kids, they have no idea what that is, so we bypassed it. We got in line for King Kong and got about halfway through. Again, there was no wait where we went. We just went straight to it. And my youngest got super scared, and so we turned around and we left. So we didn't actually get a chance to do it, but we got close.
Scary line. There's a bunch of skulls.
All right, so there you go. So that's my advice to anybody who's going to Universal Studios: stay away, even when there's no line. Well, maybe if there's no line, I don't know.
no, like unless it's raining outside, you just have to get
inside.
You just need to run somewhere.
Yep. There you go. So there's my number one. We'll go ahead and get to Acid. What's your number one?
Oh, so many number ones. So many things to talk about. I'll start with something bad, I guess. It's a double-edged sword, really, because some of these things I'm about to bring up are good and some of them are bad. The first thing I'll say is that a lot of Universal is extremely outdated. And there's a difference between outdated and classic. So like E.T., classic. Don't change it. It's perfect the way it is. Don't ever take it away. I was very upset they took the Jaws ride away, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But I have this picture. I can't show you now, but of like this main road going down into like the Woody Woodpecker section where they've got the rides and the water park area and this little roller coaster and everything. Not a soul there. And my kids are like, "Who's Woody Woodpecker? Who is this cartoon? I've never heard of this." I'm like, "Well, that was a cartoon when I was a kid." So, and then we got on the and the water rides also outdated as far as character go. Who was it? Who's the?
Popeye?
Was that?
Is it Popeye?
No, it's not Popeye. It's I can't even remember it.
No.
It was somebody from my parents' childhood. That was like super old. I didn't even know who they were. But it was the log ride and the little raft, spinny ride and stuff. Anyway, and the rides were fun. The rides were great. But let's update to new cartoons that y'all are doing, so the kids will actually have some immersion going on, because the whole time they're like, "Who's that? What is this? I don't know who that thing is." Like, should I be scared? Should I be happy? Am I fearing this guy, or should I be laughing? I mean, they had no idea. It was just, okay, let's go. So I will say that was probably one of my main gripes, is that most of that stuff is extremely outdated. And I was extremely upset how I did see Back to the Future, the DeLorean, and the train, and no Back to the Future ride. Where's a Back to the Future ride at?
They used to have one.
That would be perfect. Oh, they used to have one? Oh, so they take away the good stuff. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the sort of 3D ride before they had that technology. Like, you kind of just went in and sat into a pseudo DeLorean and watched the screen and moved around a little bit. It's like the original Star Wars ride at Disney.
Well, a lot of I like that one. That one was good at Disney. But a lot of they're the same thing. You're in a chair and there's a screen in front of you and your chair does this, and I mean, come on, can we be more innovative?
I mean, like, I understand that just from like a space perspective and an economic perspective. Like, they can do that pretty cheap with a minimal amount of space, so they don't have to build a big, massive installation.
Yeah, they got screwed over the land deal after Disney bought every piece of land they possibly could. So maybe that was the problem. But yeah, it was, I don't know. That part was disappointing for me. So that's my number 3.
All right, let's go ahead and move to Jeremy. What's your number 3 or 1?
So the one thing that and it's not that I dislike it. It's that if you're not aware of it, it can be disconcerting. And this was pre-COVID. I'm sure they don't do this now. But when you're in line for the King Kong Skull Island one, there are holes. The line sort of winds around, and there's sort of walls in between it, and the walls are hollow. And occasionally a cast member, or whatever Universal calls their people, will jump out and grab you and yell.
Oh.
And so if you're
Okay.
facing the other way and you have no idea this is happening, it can trigger that your sort of fight or flight. And
You're gonna punch somebody in the face.
yeah, and so like you spin around, and you've got a short amount of time to decide what you're going to do. And it's not like they're dressed in normal attire; like they were dressed as the natives from the movie. It was called out the movie. So it's one of those. It's kind of risky on their part, actually. I would think to have their people do that, but yeah, that is one thing that it can surprise you a little bit if you don't know it's coming.
Did this happen to you? Like, you're
Yeah.
acting like this is a? Oh, did it scare you?
Personal experience.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it was like I was turning just to see what was happening and make a decision.
All right, excellent. Well, Jeremy, his main gripe is they scare you too much. At Universal, they scare you. All right, Devyn, what's your number 3 or 1 or wherever we're at?
I actually want to add to what Jeremy just said. They have Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, which they do that. Like the cast members jump out everywhere. Like it's not just in that one line. That is everywhere. And I will never go back to Horror Nights at Universal. It's so scary. It's not oriented to children whatsoever. I much prefer Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney World. But just wanted to throw that little bit in there.
All right, excellent. So, you went to the Halloween themed part of Universal Studio or whatever, and they scared you a bunch of times.
It's not. Well, unless you really like adrenaline and like to be scared, then it's your thing for sure. They set up like haunted houses, themed haunted houses everywhere, and they had a Stranger Things one when I was there. That was really cool, but the other ones are just too gruesome and scary. Let's see. I guess since we've been talking about bad things, I can go to my best thing because 2 of my favorite rides are at Universal Studios. And of course, they're at separate parks. But my favorite ride, probably in any theme park ever, is at Universal, and it's the Hagrid motorbike ride. I love that ride so much. It's got so many like random fun accelerations, going backwards, cool technology, cool story, like a drop that you're not expecting whatsoever. And it's just really enjoyable for all ages. I know a 6-year-old who rode it and loved it, and I know like a 50-year-old who rode it and loved it. So fun for all ages. Highly recommend that ride. Yeah.
I can't remember if I went on that one. Jeremy, did we go on that one?
No, it wasn't built when we went.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, that was the only one that we wanted to do and didn't get a chance to because they were only doing online line reservations, and we couldn't hit the timing right, and so we just didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah, the virtual line thing is a hit or miss, unfortunately.
I remember it worked a couple times for us at Disney World, right? When we did the Haunted Mansion, we got in there pretty quickly. If you remember that, Jeremy?
Yeah, that was with a Fast Pass. And I don't think Universal is doing their version of the Fast Pass for Hagrid's Ride at all.
That was the only one they were not doing it for. But on the flip side of that, you know how Disney only gives you 3 Fast Passes, and then you have to use those Fast Passes before you can book 3 more. Of course, by the time you book 3 more, all the time slots are taken. The hotel that we stayed at was our key was our Fast Pass, and we could use it on any ride at any time. We walked on just about every single ride, and
Y'all stay on property?
We did. We stayed at
which ones y'all stay at?
We stayed at the Lowe's.
Okay.
One of the Lowe's hotels, and it was it was great, and we ticked off a lot of moms because we'd be using our Fast Pass, and one mom was standing like right here, and it was on like one of the little Dumbo rides, like the little Simpsons alien thing, and we just skipped right on ahead. And she looked at us and was looking at her kids and goes, "See, kids, if you pay more money, you just get to go right in front of everybody else."
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And you couldn't see me smiling because I had my mask on.
Was that?
But it was very like Oh yeah, if you do this, then if you pay more money, then you get to just jump in front of everybody who's waiting in line.
You should have turned to her kid and said, if your mommy loved you more, then you could also do that.
It's not like it was that much more. I mean, save $20. Okay. I wasn't mad. I was smiling. You just couldn't tell because I had my mask on.
That poor mother had to traumatize her kids because of you, Acid.
Yeah, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. I'm a smasher of dreams. That's what I do.
Now, which one, Universal, is that the one that has the Star Wars thing, or is that somewhere else?
No, that's Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. All right, so something different. All right, there we go. We're learning things here today.
Disney paid their $20 to have Star Wars.
Excellent. All right, so I'll go ahead and get to my number 2 here. What did I write down? Oh, yeah, this is what I wrote down. Not enough roller coasters. I get that that's Universal Studios. That's their thing. They're doing the whole simulation rides. But the only roller coaster they have is the Hulk, right? Is the Hulk at Universal?
Mm-hmm. No, they've got the rocket.
They got the Raptor.
Coaster. Yeah, they've got the one that's there in the back that's by New York. I forget what it's called.
And then they've got the Hippogriff ride over
and
in
they got Hagrid's ride.
I'm gonna talk about that one here in a second. But yeah, so I think the only one we went on was the Hulk, right? And I was not a fan of the Hulk. I don't think I'm the fan of like super fast roller coasters because to me, what was that?
Isn't the rocket roller coasters there, right? Where you choose the music?
That's Disney.
Is it Disney?
So the Rock and Roller Coaster is at Disney. That's at Hollywood Studios. But the one
No. So not the Aerosmith one.
Yeah, the one where you choose music is Riptide Rocket, and that is at Universal Studios.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The one where it's like a stand-up sort of coaster, and you.
Yeah, that was my favorite ride. That's at Universal's. I could have swore that was at Disney.
No.
Are you picturing it indoor or outdoor?
It's outdoor.
Okay, then that's the Universal Studios one.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think you did the rock and roller coaster at Hollywood Studios.
I don't think so either. So the one that goes straight up and straight down where you pick your own music, that's at Universal. That was my favorite ride.
Yep.
There we go. So I'm adding that to my list of things that I liked. Universal. I'm getting all these parks. Now, which is the ride where you just drink a lot of alcohol? Is that also at? No, it's at Epcot.
That's Epcot.
It could also be Universal.
It could be. You're gonna pay for it regardless.
All right, so I changed my mind. Not enough roller coasters. Forget it. There's enough roller coasters. I think I just didn't like the Hulk. I don't think I'm a fan of rides that just go super quick because then you're like you wait in this long line, you get in there, it's really quick, and then you're done. I like the ones that are slow, right? They just take their time, add in the suspense. That's why I like the. Why are you smiling, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the ones that like the Goliath at Six Flags, right? That's always a good one too. All right, we're gonna move on to Acid. What's your number 2?
I'll go positive this time. It's very obvious. You go to Universal Studios for Harry Potter. I mean, that is the main reason you go to Universal. And when you go into the wall, and then Harry Potter Land and all of its glory is revealed to you. It's really cool looking. I'm not like the hugest Harry Potter fan, so I don't know most of the lingo, but I do enjoy it. We had a really, really good time in Diagon Alley, and we did all the little shops, and we did Ollivander's, and apparently we hit it at just the right time because my youngest got to do the wand show because it was just the 4 of us in the room. It was me and my wife and my 2 kids, and the guy picked my youngest daughter to do. I mean, because of COVID and everything, they were only taking in one little family group at a time. So the line was like super long, but we stood in line for maybe an hour and about 5:00. So we got in about 6 and did it. And we bought our wands and did the show and got our pictures, and that was really cool. And we, did the little wand magic around the little square and stuff. And the butterbeer, if you have ever had a butterbeer, you probably have diabetes right now because that is the sweetest thing I have ever ingested in my life.
You get the frozen one?
There's a frozen one? I didn't know this. No, they just brought whatever okay. I'll combo this with a negative. The food was fine. Like the meals were fine. The meal experience was terrible. And I don't think it was their fault. I think it was more COVID's fault, because they would just bring the food to the table and go, here you go. And that's it. Like, they wouldn't interact with you. They wouldn't, hey, how you doing today? Or can we get you something else? Or, are you looking for, where are you going next? And can we help you get there? Like all the Disney hospitality, you don't get that at Universal Studios. They don't give a rip about you. And they didn't even put the drinks on the table. They're like, here's your tray, take your drink. Like, and I'm pretty sure that had something to do with COVID. Yeah. But it was just weird. I'm like, put a glove on. I mean, just put some gloves on and hand me a damn drink. It's not that difficult. But yeah, the aesthetics of the Harry Potter, everything, to the castle, to Diagon Alley, was just very well done. And we really, really enjoyed it. I found out that I am a Ravenclaw, so I got a Ravenclaw mug.
I'm also Ravenclaw.
To put my there you go. To put my water in and other beverages. So yeah, there's my number 2.
Question for you: once you got your wands, once your kids got their wands, did you do the little experiments in the windows?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we got pictures of us doing like Wingardium Leviosa to the little feather thing and the water and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool that they set that up like all throughout Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade.
Well, it was crazy because half of them wouldn't work most of the time, so the little helper person would have to come in. Okay, well now point it right there at that little hole, and I'm like, come on, how magical is this? Can't y'all make the hole bigger? I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
Did y'all get ice cream at Florian Fortescue?
We were going to, but the line was so long, we just didn't have time to wait. We did go to what's the candy shop over in Islands of Adventure by the castle?
Honeydukes?
Yes, we went to Honeydukes and grabbed some candy and that kind of stuff. So we got some chocolate frogs and some every flavored beans. So it was good. We got to do a lot of it.
That's one of my main concerns about our trip when we go down there in August, is that everyone's going to be going to Orlando this summer because the pandemic is slowly.
We hit it at the perfect time. If you ever want to go, like, we're probably never going to go back just because we did everything. We did everything we wanted to do. But like right when Auburn's schools are over, everybody else is still in school. So go, and there's nobody going to be there. So it's good.
My only gripe about the Harry Potter World areas is that they're too small. They didn't plan for large crowds. It's cool that it's immersive and it's exactly like how you picture it from the book and in the movies, but it doesn't support a crowd.
When you pack thousands of people in there, you lose all of it. Yeah.
The shops are tiny. Like,
oh man, trying to navigate in the joke shop. Oh my gosh, it was the worst. We couldn't even look around. It was so bad.
Yeah.
There are like a couple little shops there that are kind of obscure to get to, and like you can go in and you're the only person in there.
Yeah.
All right, well there you go. All right, Jeremy, what's your next one?
So my number 2 in general is just City Walk. Just some really great restaurants.
Forgot about City Walk.
Yeah, like it's just a fun place to hang out. I mean you got the Voodoo Donuts place in the morning, and then the Chocolate Emporium and Cowfish, and
Cowfish was so good, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of really good food, and you could spend a day just in City Walk with the movie theater and the little Simpsons golf course, and you got dancing at night.
I do remember enjoying the Chocolate Emporium. I don't remember what I got or obviously I can't eat chocolate because I'm lactose intolerant. But I remember enjoying that experience, right? A lot of cool stuff in there, right? People dressed up.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. I mean, especially when I forget what the lady's name is supposed to be, but the main steampunk character comes around and interacts with the table. Yeah, it's fun.
I have Voodoo Donuts written down too. No shame, I've definitely driven.
Oh yeah,
an hour
they're
and
fantastic.
A half to get Voodoo Donuts. They're so good.
All right, excellent. All right, Devyn, what's your next one?
So I'm gonna go with my second favorite ride since I did my first favorite ride last time. But my second favorite ride is in Universal Studios. And I know we were talking about things that are outdated. This is definitely probably an outdated ride for most people, but for my generation, it's awesome. It's the Mummy ride. And it's an indoor roller coaster. I guess you would call it a roller coaster. But I just absolutely love that ride. It's cheesy. There's like pyrotechnics and crappy robotics, but it's completely in the dark and fun. I don't really love outdoor roller coasters. Like I don't like the Hulk. I don't like the Red Ride. But the Mummy is one of those roller coasters that I actually enjoy. So it's definitely top on my list.
I don't think I went on the Mummy one either.
Anthony,
what did we do?
We didn't really go back to that part of Universal too much.
I don't think so. I think we went to Harry Potter World or whatever, and then we took the train thing, right? And then we hung out there a little bit. And yeah, I think you're right. We never went back.
Yeah, we did go over the Simpsons just because I remember we got that giant donut that was no good.
And we did that, what was it? What is it called? Men in Black ride. Do you remember that Men in Black ride where you just shoot the aliens? Where you have no idea if you're actually hitting aliens?
Yeah. I was 100% sure I was going to win that. And then right at the end, I lost it all.
I don't remember who won. Do you remember who won?
Yeah.
Huh? Excellent. All right, there you go. Devyn, what's your next one? Have we already just did you?
We did.
All right, we're going back to me now. I'm losing track of what's going on here. All right. All right. So my number one is I am not a Harry Potter fan by any stretch of the imagination. I have famously only seen 2 Harry Potter movies, and that's the first one, and that's the last one.
No.
Don't ask how.
You went to the bookends, huh?
Yeah. Don't ask how. So of course, in the last one, I had no idea what was going on. Right. There's a guy with no nose attacking a kid. Right. Then there at one point, someone chops off the head of a snake. Right? That's the only 2 things that I remember in that movie.
Those were your takeaways.
Is that there was a bad guy with no nose attacking a kid. And then there's a kid who cuts off the head of a snake at one point. Right? But I really enjoyed, I don't remember the name of the ride. What's the name of the ride where it's actually a half simulator ride, half roller coaster? Which one's that one?
Escape from Gringotts.
Yeah, that one was fun. That was a lot of fun. And of course, obviously the line, right? There's all kinds of cool stuff to look at when you're waiting in line. And man, is that a long line. That is a long
That's one that you definitely want a fast pass for.
We walked right onto that one.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yep.
Because we definitely
waited. We actually let people go in front of us because we wanted to look at the stuff in the line queue because there was nobody in line. So we're like, oh, look at the newspapers and check out the offices. And I'm sorry, sir, one shall go ahead. And but even after that, we walked right on.
You really did go at the perfect time.
We did. It was great as far as lines are concerned.
Yeah. So a lot of cool things to look at. I mean, it just goes, that thing goes on and on and on and on. But I enjoyed that ride. It was it had some cool little dips in the ride with some added effects with the holograms and all kind of stuff. So I definitely enjoyed that ride. If we ever do go back, I'm not sure where we're going to go. If we're going to Universal, if we're going to Disney World, if we're going to Epcot, wherever we're going, Jeremy. But if we do go to Universal, I think that's the one that we need to go straight there and go on that ride because that was a whole lot of fun. And I would like to do that again. All right. There's my number one, Acid. What's your next one?
All right. Top one. And I don't say this often about parks. But my favorite activity that we did, other than eat, obviously, and other than ET, because we rode AT a couple of times just for nostalgia, because I really enjoyed it. But that was the Bourne Stuntacular. I did not think I was going to enjoy that because, again, it's outdated. But oh man, the whole family enjoyed it. Like we were all into the Stuntacular. They did a phenomenal job with it. It was very high tech Indiana Jones, from Disney, and I would go watch it again. I mean, I don't want to just pay to go in the park to watch it again, but if I was just happened to be there, I would watch it again. Yeah, I mean, no complaints on the Born Stuntacular. From the line cue to where they had all the TVs going and the little person over the speaker, and you're getting the backstory and all that stuff. Like they did a really good job with it, and the actors did really good.
Now, which park has the Star Wars light show? I know I'm changing subjects. Which ones has that one?
Star Wars?
Hollywood
Hollywood
Studios.
Studios.
Hollywood Studios has the Star Wars light show.
Yeah.
I'm getting all these confused. There's all right.
4 Disney parks, if that helps.
Yeah, there are 4. Yeah.
Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
Oh, well, there you go. Right.
I will say that the Universal parks open too late and close too early. Because there are no, like, I enjoy the Disney fireworks shows, but Universal closed before it even gets dark. So I'm like, what do y'all, all right, whatever. So, and then like with Disney, because we had early, since we stayed on property, we had like the get in an hour early or whatever. Well, at Disney, you get in at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Like an hour early at Universal is like 8. Like, what's going on? Like, it's almost lunchtime by the time you get in. So I found that kind of strange.
Yeah, they don't have like fireworks shows there.
Mm-mm. And the parades were terrible. It was like one float. And then an hour later, one more float would come by. It was okay.
People like bringing in good music concerts, but they can't do that really with COVID right now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to be ramping up things in terms of what they're going to be allowing at Universal when it comes to August, right?
Well, I think the day after we left, they lifted every single restriction.
Oh, wow.
So no masks, no minimum capacity, no distancing. Just go in,
hug and
go in
slap.
and lick everybody. It doesn't matter. Just do it. So I think we went at the perfect time.
The Blue Man Group might be back. We go see the Blue Man Group.
There you go. I like the Blue Man. That was a good show.
All right. There you go. All right, Jeremy, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, my number one is Harry Potter, Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. To me, it's the most Disney-like attraction they've got. Like the attention to detail is superb. The immersion's great. Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing is that it does kind of get crowded. Especially Diagon Alley when there's a big crowd. But that's just part of amusement parks and part of it. So it's not a deal breaker or anything for me. Yeah, it's a lot of, like, I like the restaurants, I like the rides, the whole experience. I like the various beers you can get there. The secret beer that you can order if you know what to ask for.
Oh, I didn't know about the secret beer.
Tell us about the secret beer.
And that's not the butter beer. So
no, so I forget what it's based around the Deathly Hallows, and but I think if you order the Deathly Hallows, they'll act like they don't know what you're talking about, so you have to like talk around it. But yeah, it's just some beer like the like dragons something or other dragons.
It's actually a Michelob Ultra in a can.
So they're actually I'm fairly sure they're not, just based on tasting the various ones. I'm sure they're.
Are they all local, you think?
I'm sure it's probably some local brewery.
Yeah, okay.
And it's probably different at this park than it is in California. But it's not. It's definitely not just like a generic, Miller Lite.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. If we've learned anything about Jeremy, he loves the beer, right? That's always going to be his favorite part of any place is the beer, right? Excellent. All right, Devyn, what's your last one?
I'm going to jump off of that point you just made, but pull an Anthony and go to Star Wars Land.
Okay.
I tried the blue milk there. I don't know. Have any of you guys been to the new Star Wars?
I've been yet.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, not the land. The land is amazing. The blue milk was.
Oh, the blue milk is bad.
What's it taste like?
It's got coconut flavor in it. That was like the main thing
I don't like coconut.
But yeah, I did not like it.
Is it actually milk?
It was creamy, and it was semi-frozen, thick. Yeah, it was. It's the same like.
Is it alcoholic or not?
You can get it alcoholic.
I don't know if I want my dairy alcoholic. That just screams
Like a blue
a
Russian.
huge mistake.
Yeah. But I just wanted to talking about drinks. Also, you can get butterbeer hot, which it's my favorite.
Is it better?
The ice. I think it's better because it's more like drinking coffee, and it doesn't.
I bet that would be good.
Venus doesn't hit you as much.
I bet that would be good. Does it still have like the
Foam?
Yeah, that is some thick foam. Like I took my first sip and like my entire mustache was white. Like it was so and just sticky the rest of the day. I was like, I can't get this off.
Yep. And it's like the butterscotch foam that's really, really sweet. But once you get past that,
yeah, the liquid, the drink itself was really, really good. Like it wasn't overly sweet. It's just that top layer that it just gets you.
Yeah, agreed.
Just get a straw. And just like stick the straw in there.
I remember when
Yeah, I think sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, Linda thought that butterbeer was actually beer.
Oh.
And she was pregnant at the time, and everyone kept trying to offer her a taste of it, and she kept saying, "No, leave me alone," because she thought it was alcohol. She thought it was actual beer, and everyone kept trying to offer a taste, and she's like, "Leave me alone! No, I don't want it.
I can't drink. I'm pregnant." Oh, that's good. I like it. Do they make it?
Devyn?
Do they make butterbeer alcoholic, or can you get it that way?
I haven't seen that alcoholic.
I'm actually shocked you can't.
Yeah.
Throw some like a couple of shots of Kahlua in there or something. I don't know.
I mean, you could probably order a butterbeer and then walk up to one of the pubs and be like, "Hey,
Spike this young goblin." I need you to. Cool.
I was gonna just say my last point is basically seconding what Jeremy just said about Harry Potter World. It's so immersive and it is very Disney-like with the attention to detail, and it's just the best part of both parks. It's great that they've expanded it to both parks.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had. I feel like they had to.
Yeah.
Just from popularity.
And the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, the train was a great experience because we did it there and back, and it's a different thing each time, so it was good.
Oh, is it really different when you go back?
Yep, it's different when you go back.
Oh, that's
yeah."
cool.
And King's Cross is like when it's super hot is one of the few places you can be waiting in line and have some sort of air conditioning and not be.
You know what? Since you just said that, I will bring up that Universal has that on Disney. Most of the line queues in Universal were air conditioned and inside, or at least inside. At Disney, most of their stuff is outside and it's blazing hot. So I'll give that to Universal with their inside line queues.
All right, excellent. There you go. Universal Studios. Now, what part of Universal Studios is the one where they have the whale and like the whale and the dolphins jump and it splashes the crowd?
Or you're talking about SeaWorld.
Is that SeaWorld? Okay, I just want to make sure that
That's the Free Willy ride. You guys remember Free
They
Willy?
got rid of the orcas. Are there still orcas at SeaWorld?
I don't know. Are there?
I don't know. I know there was a big pushback against them.
Yeah, certainly. All right,
You
there
can
go.
get fried orca. It's really good. It's delicious.
Oh.
Earlier when you said you missed the Jaws ride, I missed that ride so much. It was so cool.
I didn't even get a chance to do it. Like that's kind of disappointing.
That one and Earthquake were very cool, and I missed both of them. But I mean, Harry Potter World replaced it, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now, is there a Jurassic Park ride, or is that somewhere else?
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Universal?
That is
two. Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah. I know the boat ride.
The flying one.
Yeah.
Which we could not get on because we were too tall.
Yeah, I had the same. Well, I don't know if it was too tall or you had to be accompanied by a kid.
No, we had two
like,
kids with us,
around.
and they wouldn't let me or my wife on. They're like, the kids can go, but y'all have to stay over here. I'm like, no, we're good. I'm not letting my kids get on without supervision.
They had a soft opening of the new Velociraptor roller coaster, and I had a family ride it, and they both said it's the best roller coaster they've ever been on. Very smooth, very fun, long, so it's not a short coaster like Anthony was talking about earlier. So I think that's I'm gonna have to go back just to try that roller coaster.
We did the baby dinosaur pictures too for Baloo. We did that. The kids liked it. That was really kind of interesting experience.
Yeah, of course, Victor would love any kind of Jurassic Park thing, but if he's not going. He's staying with family. We're going without the kids. All right, very good. There you go. There's our Universal review, right? We hit all the high notes. We hit all the low notes. Right? So let's go ahead and move on to our final segment, Acid, and that's trivia. Devyn, if you're not familiar, we finish off the show by doing a little bit of trivia. This is where we all just lose to Jeremy.
Not true.
We're just gonna stop calling it trivia, and we're gonna call it the Lose to Jeremy segment of the show.
I win like 50% of the time.
If it was Disney themed trivia, I would give you a round for your money.
I tried to make it as diverse as possible this time.
Right.
Couple of sci-fis and then cartoons. So we'll start with a sci-fi. So what will happen is I'll give you this, and then you name however many of this that you can. So I'll go around and be like, all right, who can name 2? And if you can, then raise your hand. If you can name 3, 4, 5, however many, so on. And whoever can name the most will have to name them, and we'll win the round. And we'll win the lifetime supply of my special soap, right, Anthony?
Yeah. Did you ever do a review?
We didn't, and it's amazing, by the way. So
You do like the soap.
I do like the soap.
Devyn, he went on and on about this new
really
soap.
Good soap.
Right? If you're familiar,
I'm a soap snob. That's the only weird thing about me, I promise.
If you're familiar with the obnoxious commercials of the dude talking about balls, where you need to wash your balls, are you familiar with these commercials? Or is it just my YouTube algorithm?
That's your
that brings
YouTube
up these
algorithm.
commercials?
The brand is called Dr. Squatch.
Oh.
If you've ever heard of that, yeah. But I advertise only on like social media and like YouTube.
Yep.
You will never find them on like an NBC commercial or anything. But it's very good soap. Anywho. So how many sci-fi holiday films can you name? Think about that one for a minute or less.
Holiday films.
Sci-fi holiday films.
Can I have a special guest help me?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Yes, you may.
Just give me numbers. Don't yell out actual answers yet.
I have some trivia for you.
Okay, so sci-fi holiday films. Think about it.
Can you name any sci-fi?
Like,
So there's a holiday in the science fiction film.
How many?
No, you're talking about movies made for
no,
holiday.
like a Christmas or a,
And like, all right, define film.
what do you mean define
Like it has to be a
film?
theatrical release.
Like, yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would say at least a home release, or
yeah,
ability
yeah.
to download.
Well, that's what I mean. But like
You're just talking about the Star Wars special.
That's the only one.
me, no.
Oh,
Like I mean, like episodes of shows don't count.
No, this would be a full-length featured film. Yeah,
I can't think of any.
like the
besides Star
very
Wars.
popular Picard Saves Santa movie. Of course, everyone knows about that, right? That's a joke.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, I've just got the 2.
No one has more than 2.
Nope.
Oh, God. Okay, Jeremy, let's hear it.
I mean, they're both Star Wars holiday specials.
Are they movies, though?
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
the one that came out last Christmas, and then
Okay.
the one from '78, where you visit Chewbacca's homeworld.
Is there like a
Kashyyyk.
long list of science fiction holidays?
Let's find out.
Well, like Doctor Who has a holiday special every year, which is an extra long episode. That, kind of.
Here's the best sci-fi Christmas movies that you can stream right now. There's 8 of these.
All right. Do it.
All right, if it'll let me scroll, I will scroll. It's not letting me scroll. Oh, here we go. That can't be right. The Grinch just popped up.
There
That's
you go.
not sci-fi.
That's not sci-fi.
Universal.
Shazam just popped up. This is weird.
Did that happen at Christmas?
The Santa Claus trilogy.
That's not.
That's
sci-fi.
what's popping up here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a crazy question.
I guess you could call it science fiction because he like turns into Santa, right?
I
It's
don't
his
know.
will.
I don't. We'll
Maybe
skip that. We'll go to the
fantasy.
next one. All right. How many television shows or films can you name to which Will Wheaton appears in? The glorious bearded man in the back is thinking. I can see him.
He's my
This has to be
Look at that.
on.
Yep, that luscious
on television.
facial mane. Loving it. There you go.
Repeat the question.
Okay, so how many television shows and or films can you name in which Will Wheaton appears in?
So we're not counting internet series, right? It's only television shows.
I will allow internet. I'll allow internet series. I kind of consider them as shows. That's the new age television, right? Nobody watches that big box in your
The
living
thing about
room.
Will Wheaton is he has like 20 different YouTube shows.
Let's do one that he. Oh, that'd be rough too, though. I was about to say, and where he's not playing himself, but non-educational.
They're all his YouTube stuff is non-educational.
Like no board game series, like no how to play Magic, no none of that.
You gotta get rid of that one.
Toss Geek and Sundry. He's in other.
Okay, so no Geek and Sundry.
He's in other stuff other than Geek and Sundry. Yeah.
And tabletop and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like toss all that. Yeah. All right, we'll start with 4. Who's got 4?
I got 4.
Okay.
Take it.
Does the dynamic duo have 4?
I got 2.
You got 2? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I probably
Anthony-
have the same too.
All right, Anthony, let's hear the 4.
So Star Trek, obviously, Next Generation.
Obviously. Okay.
Big Bang. He shows up in Big Bang all the
Correct.
time. The Guild.
No, it's Geek and Sundry.
No, I don't. That's not Geek and Sundry.
It is. It's Felicia Day. It's
That
Geek
was
and Sundry.
before Geek and Sundry existed.
That's a whole separate series, though. That's like an actual.
That's a
I mean,
web
but
series.
But Tabletop's a web series also.
But it's not story driven.
Well, okay. So I had the Guild, but when you said throw out all Geek and Sundry,
But like it did not originally appear.
So did you have 4 then, Jeremy?
no, you still would have beaten me.
So what's your 4th one?
Stand by Me. He's in Stand by Me, right?
It's not a TV show.
He said film.
It's a movie.
Yeah, film.
He said film.
You can do film.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't hear film. Okay.
Was he in Dr. Horrible Sing Along? Or no, that was Nathan Fillion. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
No.
All
Okay,
right, so
that's
did I
4.
win one?
You got one.
Yeah. He's
Congratulations.
had to have been in more movies than just Stand By Me, right?
He had to be. Yeah, I
Oh,
can't
I'm
think
sure.
of it. Though.
I don't know.
Yo, look at-
He's also in Criminal Minds, by the way. He's in an episode of Criminal Minds. He kills like a lot of people. He's a very bloody person. All right, last one.
And when I met Will Wheaton in real life, he didn't like me. I could tell.
Does anybody
he
like
did
you in
not
real
like
life,
me.
Anthony?
That's possible.
All right, here's the last one. We're gonna go to Family Guy. Everybody loves Family Guy, right?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
How many Family Guy characters can you name?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. You can name them all. I believe in you.
Literally never watched an episode of Family Guy.
Don't go past season like 5. After that, it just gets stupid. I mean, they're stupid to begin with, but it gets more stupid.
I don't remember any of their names.
Well, that's not very helpful for you, Anthony.
Marge.
No, that's The Simpsons.
Homer.
We're done talking about Universal now. Yeah.
You know, something we didn't talk about with Universal, it's just a random thought that popped into my head, is how they have like a Marvel land when Disney owns Marvel.
Yeah, because they had the rights to it before Disney had it, right?
I
Yeah.
wonder how they negotiated that.
They only
Yeah.
allowed them to keep the theme park part.
And I think it's supposed to phase out at some point.
Is it?
I will say Captain America was the best, like, hero there, like that interacted with the kids and stuff. Like, he did a really good job. All right, Family Guy characters. All right, who has 5?
Oh,
I have 5.
Yeah.
6?
Yeah.
8?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's no way. All right, Jeremy. 8.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear the 8.
Is it me?
Yeah, that's you.
Stewie, Peter, Cleveland, Lois, Brian, Joe, Meg, Quagmire.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty
I
good.
couldn't remember the son's name. What is the son's name?
Chris.
Chris has 10.
There you
Oh,
go.
Chris has 10.
Yeah, we got the family. So Peter, Lois, Brian, Stewie, Chris, Meg, Quagmire, Joe, Cleveland. That's 9. And then I think her name's Maria, the Spanish maid.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
All right. So Chris won, not
There you
Jeremy.
go. Yep, that was it.
I love that high five.
Yeah. Well, Chris wins the lifetime supply of ball soap from Anthony.
Hey!
It will be in the mail along with your free Corvette. So be looking forward to that.
Technically, it's a tie, right? I got one. He's got one.
But yours don't count because you're the host. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
just
That's what happens. All right. That's the
it.
show. We talked about Universal Studios. Devyn, thank you so much for being on the show. Chris, thank you for being in the background.
Glad I can help.
And take that victory away from Jeremy.
That's right.
Devyn, is there anything else you want to bring up, say, before we go?
Oh, just thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right, excellent. All right, well, of course, if whoever's watching, you can like and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff. You can listen to there's a cat.
Oh, there's a cat.
What's the cat's name?
That's Rory.
Rory.
Rory,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, excellent. All right, so well, you can listen to us in podcast form. You can watch us on YouTube if you're tired of seeing our faces. Right? You can listen to us in podcast form. But that's the show. Goodbye, everybody.